about Tech in Alexandria and to Tech in Alexandria. But first, I have a request of everyone here. If everyone here would please send me copies of all the pictures and videos that you have taken here today, I will put them all up on a unified website so we can all see all of them, if you would do that. And my name is Paul Hinds, H-I-N-D-S, and that's P. Hinds, that's my website, or my email address, phinds@phinds.com. Because as Robert pointed out, I like to be in control of things. Speaking of which, would you two get front and center over here? Quit hiding in the corner. I want to be talking to you. You know, just some of this is about you, and I want the rest of them to hear it. So, okay, I have known Alexandria for several years now. And interestingly enough, I have known 3 Alexandrias. I knew Alexandria as a child, and she was amazingly wonderful. She was happy and friendly and reading all the time, as I think Jess just pointed out, and artistic and, you know, just really smart and really a joy to everyone around her, with the possible occasional exception of her brother. But what would brothers and sisters be if that didn't happen every now and then? Then I had the unfortunate knowing Alexandria in some really bad years. She went through a very, very bad time for a number of years, and that was not pleasant for her or for those around her. But now I get to know the 3rd Alexandria, which is the beautiful young lady that you see in front of you here today, who is back to being a joy and all of those wonderful things. Okay, so now Tech I met much later, more recently. I met him a few times over Skype. And of course, Alexandria had begun to tell me how wonderful he was, and energetic and smart and all kinds of good things. But I had not really talked to him more than sort of briefly on Skype. But I knew they were getting serious. They had made that clear. Alexandria had made that clear. So they called us up one time. I think I was Skyping with Alexandria, and she said, okay, we want to Skype with you and Mom next week, but it has to be both of you. It has to be both of you. So, I mean, that was, you know, sort of obvious what was coming. But now, there may be a few of you here who don't know me very well, so to give you background for what happened next, let me say this. I have an extremely strong tendency to just blurt out whatever's on my mind. I have no filter. My son Robert has come up with the most perfect analogy for the way it works. What happens is, the thought rolls around. He said it's like one of those machines in a batter's cage. The thought rolls around very briefly in my head and goes boom out into the world, and the people around me are going, "Whoa! What? Yeah, another one? Oh my God! Where's this coming from?" So I do have trouble holding my tongue. So they called us up, and I want you to know the damage that I did to my tongue, because after about, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds, I think, of sort of desultory chit-chat, or maybe it was 30 seconds, they went into this routine. I was like, I don't think they realized they were doing it. However, it looked exactly like this. Their body language was exactly like this. It was like, you want to tell him? No, I don't want to tell him. You want to tell him? Oh, no, I think you should tell him. Well, wait, he's your dad. You should tell him. They didn't say any of that, but that's what they were saying. And I so wanted to say, guys, tell us you're getting married so we can get on with this conversation. I mean, man. So anyway, subsequently, I came to know Tech a lot better through Skyping, and also when Skyping with Alexandria, she would show me things that Tech did in setting up the business that they are setting up in Laos, which, by the way, they came up with this wonderful name, which I think also was Tech's idea. The name of their travel agency is going to be, or is, Marvel Laos. which I think is wonderful. Very, very clever. And I really began to see very clearly that she had, I didn't have no reason to doubt Alexandria, but I began to see that directly myself in the things that he had done. He is smart, he's hardworking, he's clever, he's artistic, so a lot of good things. And I am extremely happy to report that in the 2 weeks that I have known him personally here since he's been in the country, that impression has only improved. I have seen firsthand he is very smart, very hardworking, he's very clever, and so I'm pleased to have him as a son-in-law. Now, that is about Tech and Alexandria, so let me say something to Tech and Alexandria. Lady, you've bitten off a chunk here. Going to another culture, another country, and absorbing all of that and becoming part of it, you've bitten off a lot. But I know you, and I know that you can do any damn thing that you set your mind to do. So I am confident that you will do this. And Tech, you've bitten off quite a bit too. You probably don't quite know yet what you got yourself into. And I would like for you to keep in mind, there may be times when Alexandria, having spent 30 years in America, and being still fundamentally American, but beginning to be Lao, there may be times that there is a cultural clash. And when that happens, try to keep in mind what I've been telling you. Say to yourself what I've said to you a number of times in the last 2 weeks. Hey, this is America. America. So keep that in mind. Okay? And I would like to say to all of particularly to all of the immediate relatives, the Hines, the Lindsays, the Wyants, it is not the custom in Laos to hug people. That's really not what they do, but it has been explained to Tech, hey, this is America, the hell with it. We're going to hug you. So give them a hug if you haven't already. So, good luck, you two. And beyond that, stay out of trouble and wash behind your ears.